Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today may be the shortest No Guts, No Story you ever hear me do. Dave and I had the adventure of keeping all four kids last night while Daisy and Chance went to celebrate her birthday. And this morning, we have a very busy morning, and I don't think either one of us slept. The kids were good, but number one, I supplement to sleep. If I don't supplement to sleep, I don't sleep. And when you have a little 4 month old that has been sick, you do not supplement to sleep. So even when she did sleep, I didn't sleep. And it was a long night, but I was so grateful to be able to do it. And I was laying there thinking about sacrifice and why we do the things we do. And I think for me, one of my number one things is nurturing and helping other people. And even when I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I've slept 30 minutes, all I could think of is my kids had an amazing birthday date. And I know that there was many, many times my mom and Dave's mom, Nana Cindy, they were tired. They were up all night. They were like, why did I offer to keep three kids? I doubt they ever said that because there was so much joy in just being a grandma. And I was out of practice, but I did it. And this morning I was like, I could just cancel my life. And then I was thinking about all the people that text me every Saturday if I'm even 5 minutes late. And they say, are you doing No Guts, No Story this morning? So if you're watching it live, comment live. If you're watching the replay, say replay. Let me know where you're watching from. And today I'm going to talk to you about, well, I started reading a great book that kind of got me on a different topic, which is comparison. But I think the real message all week, Dave and I did a lot of Deepak Chopra and a lot of listening to Ed Milet. And just Dave was driving for 7 hours. It's funny, we talk more when we're away from each other than we do together, because when he drives or I drive, we call each other every 30 minutes, like, oh my gosh, listen to this, listen to that. And we're always discussing ideas and goals and dreams and activities or adventures or projects that we're working on. And I was thinking this morning, I woke up at 3 a.m. and there was someone that had commented and said, hey, I hate to post this, but she was going on that, people are talking about her family. And she said, we're a great family. And if you hear something, please give us the benefit of the doubt or reach out to me. And I was just thinking of the word comparison. There's so many people out there that are so worried about what somebody might think or what somebody might say, because you love your kids, you love your company, you love your brand, you love your teammates, you love your grandkids, whatever it is. But there's always going to be someone trying to kill your spirit. And you are the number one person that you're in a competition with, because you're looking at everybody else and what they're doing, and you compare yourself to all these other people. Knox wants to be on my live this morning, so we might take a little short commercial break here. What do you want to talk about, Knox? What do you want to talk about? What? Dinosaurs. Okay. What's your favorite dinosaur? T-Rex. Dave just said raptors. Total raptors. Well, which one's the biggest? The T-Rex. And why are you being so quiet? You're never quiet. T-Rex is pretty cool, but he's the biggest, right? But which one's the fastest? The raptors. And so, do you think that the T-Rex compares himself to the raptor? Do you think the T-Rex wishes he was faster? Yeah? You think the raptor wishes he was bigger? You think some of the friends tell him that you're not as good as the raptor? Do your friends do that at school? No? Good. Well, you're rare. But all of us, we compare. Oh, there we go. That is the episode with Knox. Much like his grandpa. Man of few words, but when he talks, you should listen. He's the most kind-hearted, sweetest little kid. Oh, they said Triceratops is their favorite. Okay, it's funny, these boys, they know every single dinosaur. I remember when they were little, we had a dinosaur mat at our house that laid them all out. The reason I want to talk about comparison is that I was reading this book I picked up, and I recommended a book last month, and I should have never recommended it, because at the end, it literally was kind of bashing the industry that I love. So I don't know that I'm going to go recommending an amazing book. I have not read this whole book. I have read 30 pages of it. I bought it for Daisy for her birthday. This is the founder of Belle Beauty, and my daughter-in-law Daisy is, her love is beauty, cosmetics. Like, she can make you over to look like a supermodel, you know, even if all she had was one little palette. She's just got a great gift. So I bought her this book, but I started reading it, Collecting Confidence. And it is literally about a girl who was in a pageant to be Miss Georgia. And she was going on stage. She had trained for this her whole, you know, growing up. She was 19. She said her confidence was so much more than 19, but she was 19. She thought she was going to win the crown. And all of a sudden, it came to the question that was some weird question about the future of, I'll tell you what the question was. Some of you maybe remember it. It was 1991. And the question was, how does something affect nuclear weapons? It doesn't even matter what the question was. But she said she literally stood there and watched what was her dream diminish because she didn't know the answer to some political question. And her whole thing was like, what do you do when your dreams don't happen and you see them vanish before your eyes? And she was always taught, you got to be as smart as all the other girls on stage. You know, your evening gown, your knowledge, your the way you carry yourself, your swimsuit, your body. And it really got me thinking about comparison, because in my industry, it doesn't matter what industry I've done, there's so much competition. When I owned the dance school, it was dog eat dog. Wait till you got to competition and you were backstage with the other dance school, right? Bullies, mean dance moms. And, you know, then in the hair industry, you know, I owned a salon. I think there was 26 salons in our town, and there was maybe 2,000 women. And so it was dog eat dog. And, you know, that's just an industry where it's a lot of competition. And when you're in the industry of the beauty business, there's also a lot of gossip that happens. So I always had a sign that said, we shoot every third gossip, and the second one just walked out, because I did not tolerate it. And the thing is, gossip kills a person's free spirit. You know, what people say to you, what people tell you, what you hear that people said about you, it can kill your spirit. And that's what I told my friend this morning on Facebook at 4 a.m. I said, I don't know who's talking about you. I don't know who you're comparing yourself or your kids to, but you have an audience of one. And anyone that talks about you is mediocre at best. Even with my employees, you guys, I literally tell people, like, stop the 5th grade BS or don't work in this store. Because the reality is, we're discussing ideas and business and goals, not people. And the people that have time to discuss people need to look in the mirror, because it's their own self-confidence that has them talking. And I've been guilty of it before. I know one time in my life, I was a top earner in a company that was doing a lot. They had grown from 17 million to 150 million in 9 months. And my husband and I were at the top rank. There was only 3 of us. Dave and I, Dale Maloney, and Dr. Tom Klesmet. Now, Dale Maloney was twice our age and our experience. Tom Klesmet was a doctor, and so was his wife. And then there was these 2 kids. You know, we had a lot of success so fast. We were growing personally. When you grow with personal development, your income grows. So all of a sudden, we're at this top rank with all this top responsibility, but we didn't have the wisdom yet. We didn't have the experience yet, the people skills yet. And boy, did we learn. So what happened was, I was on a 3-way call with a girl, and we were 3-waying someone in her downline that was a problem, a difficult person. And I will never forget it. She said, we need to call them because they're mad about this and they're mad about that and they're complaining about this and they're complaining about that. And I was like, okay, get them on the line. Like, they're always complaining, right? Which might have been true. But you got to come up with solutions, not be part of the problem. So I got caught. And what happened was, Lori and I were on the line and we were waiting for Mr. and Mrs. to answer. And they didn't. And it went to their answering machine. nobody answered. It was just blank. And when it stopped ringing, she said, well, they didn't answer. And I said, thank God. Like, I'm so tired of blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I started saying they should be more of a leader and they should do this and they should do that. And her and I both talked for at least 5 or 10 minutes. And then she said, well, the twins are being noisy. And I said, so are mine. It was much like today. I had 3 under the age of 5, if you can imagine. And after having our long discussion, it went beep. And we realized everything we just said had been recorded. And I think that's probably one of the last times I have ever been a part of a conversation like that. Because being a top earner, being in the spotlight, being a leader, being edified by the company, I had a responsibility to be a leader. And leaders don't discuss people, they discuss opportunity. They don't discuss all the problems, they discuss all the solutions. So what happened was, Gianna, the most amazing vice president of that company, are you taking her from me? She's just singing. Papa Dave, he's stealing my baby. Gianna Mitchum called me and she said, we need to talk about something because there is a recording of you and your downline talking about someone else in the downline. And she said, I want to tell you something, Barb. We have to understand that everyone is growing. Everyone is growing. Everybody's going through stuff. And we need to pray for them as much as we talk about them. And she said, you are our brand. You, Dave and Barb Pitcock, are our company brand. As a top leader, you've got to keep it clean. You've got to keep it classy. And I will never forget Gianna lecturing me on this. And she was the most amazing Christian woman, like such a mentor to me. She said she had been on a military base with her husband once. And she said all of the women would talk because all of the guys were gone and the women would gather and, you know, it was this and it was that and the other. And there was a lot of catty women in the neighborhood. And she said one night, I didn't even gossip. I just nodded my head when they were talking about someone. And she said that night I went home and I prayed for that girl and I felt so bad. I got up, got out of bed, put my pajamas on, drove there and apologized to her and said, I was not gossiping about you, but I was there and I did not stop it. I didn't disagree. I didn't say, hey, do you guys know that to be true? And you guys, I had so much admiration and respect for this woman because she wouldn't make an excuse. She wouldn't blame anyone else. She would say, I made a mistake and I'm going to own it. I'm going to eat the humble pie. I'm going to move forward. And I think I've been there several times in my life where if you don't humble yourself, God will humble you. If you don't humble yourself, he will do it for you. And the higher you are on a pedestal, the harder you're going to fall. So for instance, when Dave and I were a top leader and we had so many financial challenges, I would share my story first thing at the meeting. Hey, I'm Barb Pitcock. I would have financial failure across the forehead if I had a title. I grew up in a small town. Dave and I were a bankrupt beautician and a bull rider. I would just get it out of the way because I'm not going to pretend to be something. Those adversities are what made me. There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes in your past because every single thing that you've been through is part of how God is going to use you to change other people's lives. And thank God for the financial adversity because for 28 years, we have been teaching people how we overcame so much. And I want to ask you, what are you comparing yourself right now? Is it another leader? Is it someone else in your office? Like, I had to lay the law down in one of our stores this week because there's this one lady that's like, I should have seniority. I worked for you all summer. And I'm like, we're a team. Like, when the tide rises, all the boats are going to float. You're not better than the new kid. The new kid can sell as much as you. He needs to be treated as good as you. And I asked Dave the other day, I said, is there something wrong with me? I've just never been in the corporate world, so I don't understand. Dave says, yes, there is something wrong with me. And I understand that. But you guys, could we just be all love? The wind is blowing into the microphone. You know what? I'm so sorry. Is that better? It's hard to find a good spot to do this where there's light. And I didn't want to wake up the rest of the kids. But all we need to do is be all love, and look in the mirror and say, I am enough. I have everything I need to make it. I can do and be and have. And you have to believe that you are the best. And that's what I got from this book that I just started reading, Collecting Confidence. You've got to believe that you are the best. Now, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the story, but I will tell you she doesn't give up. She doesn't give up. So I'm going to encourage all of you to be free-spirited like a child. When Dave was reading this week and he called me, we were literally writing notes. And we ourselves are a collected culture that is recycled from our thoughts. So if we have this unconscious leap that says, I'm going to do the biggest thing I've ever done, I am going to do and be and have everything I've ever dreamed of. Nothing is going to stop me. I'm going to break records. Our body feels that energy. Our mind feels that energy. And what happens is we will have and be and do what we visualize, what we say, and what we think. So you can't let comparing yourself to someone else kill your spirit. Have a free spirit like a child. Don't let anything that's happened knock down your confidence. And I'm going to end with this story. For the last 6 months in my industry, there's been this company that everyone's talking about. Oh my gosh, they're brand new. They did 60 million. Here's their price. They have the same product. Here's their join fee. Here's their website. Every week I would get like 10 text messages about this company. And they were getting away from the business model that I've always used. And so, you start to question yourself. Maybe I should do what they do. Maybe I should change. Maybe I should be different. And yesterday, I had an incredible leader that's in that company, one of the top, message me, and she was moving into a new home, and she sent me her home plans. I coach her. So, she was one of my personally enrolled for years. I said, I'm so happy to see you achieving your goals and dreams. And she is too. I said, I'm so happy that you're in company XYZ and that you're killing it. I'm cheering you on from a side. And she goes, I'm not doing anything. And this company in the spotlight that everyone's raving about, that she was incredibly successful in, that I was like, maybe I should change my approach. Maybe I should change my price. Maybe I should change my method of the madness. Maybe I should just be a membership, not, pay commissions to my distributors. Like, I was questioning myself. And this girl, the guru, says, not true. I built a huge team. It definitely didn't work. Not true. Maybe it worked. If you think, small amount of money just to pay for your products is having success. But the thing is, what Jana taught me, always speak good about others. The top leader, we're only going to be as strong as the weakest link. So if you're a leader, you've got to be presenting your company, presenting your brand, your office, wherever you work, with class, with values, with integrity. And gossip, you guys, it is the cancer that kills the culture. From here on out in my career, I have this mastermind group. This is the rule. You want to talk about people? Go somewhere else. Join that other business. Suck the life out of all of them. Don't come to this table. There's no room at the table to be talking bad about other people in our industry, on our team, outside of our team. I'm so busy, focused on my own goals. I don't have time to discuss anything that anyone else is doing that's a mistake or bad. Now, if we want to look at mentors, what's working, how we can move from where we're at to where we want to be quicker, I'm all in. But comparison is the myth that kills your spirit. So when you're looking at the T-Rex thinking, oh, I'm just a little Triceratops, just remember, you have gifts that the T-Rex doesn't have. You have things that they don't have. And the minute you step into your own gifts, you follow your own free spirit. You do your own dreams, your own goals, what makes you tick. You are going to absolutely kill it. And growing up as a little girl with red hair and freckles and fair skin, I could really relate to the book. I could really relate to this Collecting Confidence. Because I was the girl in 1989 at the Miss Kansas Teen Pageant. My dad had disappeared. My mom was driving a semi, and I had 4 little kids, just like I have today, in a hotel room with my classmates while I was competing on stage. I didn't get the crown. I made it in the top 10. I did not get the crown. To be honest with you, it never really bothered me. I was like, that was fun. But you know why I think it never really bothered me? because I never thought I was going to be the queen anyway. In fact, I couldn't even believe I made it to the top 10. I mean, that's the reality. I never thought I was going to be an athlete, so it wasn't sad when I wasn't. You've got to step into your own strengths. I did kill it on stage telling a story at that pageant. I did kill it when it came to my talent competition. I did kill it when it came to speech. I did kill it when it came to my evening gown because I'm creative, I'm charismatic, and I have gifts that maybe some of those other girls didn't. I'm glad they didn't ask me any questions about the government because that would have not been my strength. But you know what, guys? We can't compare ourselves to anyone else. I was so happy for the girl that got the crown. I was friends with her forever. I learned a lot. It was a great experience, but it wasn't my bliss. This is the name of the book, Collecting Confidence. So for those of you that are comparing yourself, take today, be inspired, go be yourself, soar with your own gifts, and you will get your own crown. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next week. I'm going to go take care of a baby. Bye, guys.